Hello, Kansas and Western fans. It's time for episode number 56 of the construction of the Kansas and Western HO scale model railroad. And today we're going to change it up a little bit. Ever since I've been doing these, I've been doing full layout tours for every single construction update twice a month. And I think I'm going to back off that now and do a tour maybe just once a month. Again, for the new people that may be showing up to the channel for the first time, we'll usually do a tour, and then I'll talk about what I worked on for the last couple of weeks. We're going to go ahead and just skip forward to the area that I worked on for the last couple of weeks per the poll results. And since we'll be drawing again for the poll options, once I get those 4 options chosen, then we'll do a deep dive into those 4 different options and talk about what I can work on for those 4. That way, when you're ready to vote, you have a little more information about the 4 options and what I'll be doing for those. So anyway, let's move forward. For the last 2 weeks, I've been working on the Dorado Refinery, and if you saw my video post from a few days ago, I put all my effort basically into finishing this Faller chemical plant kit that I'm using as just a different type of structure for this refinery area here. I'm also working on a Walther's refinery kit here that's mostly complete. I've just got a single one of these towers with some lights installed. I have to finish the rest of the towers and get all the piping and everything added, and then that kit will be done. This segment here is also illuminated, and I've got a warning light which apparently has fallen down the stack, so I'll have to fix that. But anyway, I spent almost all my time on this kit because I wanted to get it finished, and with the video you saw a few days ago, then you understand why, so I could get that video finished. And I'm very happy with how this turned out. Like any refinery or chemical plant, it looks like just a bunch of steel and pipes going in every direction and tanks. So it looks like that. So anyway, more to add for this scene for sure. More tanks. I have a second Walther's refinery kit I plan to add, although I'm going to heavily modify that. Any other work I did was I finished adding the rail webbing rust, I guess, color that I like to add because I think it really brings the rails out. So I finished that on this spur. I got some weathering done, as you can see, on the ties up to about that location. I stopped there because I think I'm going to go ahead and concrete the rest of this spur, given its proximity to all this other structure, figuring crews are going to be walking back and forth again across this track over and over. We're going to save their feet and not make them walk on ballast. And besides that, this spur is for refinery work only. Maybe for turnaround work, which is when they shut segments of the refinery down to do some major maintenance or replacement parts and things like that. So this spur is really only going to be used when heavy machinery or heavy parts of the refinery, and this is basically a replacement stack here sitting on this flat car. So it's not used all that often, and so it's going to be free for crew to walk across most of the time. So anyway, that's my reasoning behind why I want to go ahead and concrete this section. And I've got some ideas I've seen on Boomer Diorama how he did his. I think he used L-girder framework or styrene that he would put down on the ties, and then the upper part would kind of protect the rails and make sure the flangeway stays clear. So I think I'm going to work with that idea for this section here. But anyway, that's about all I've gotten done. That was quite enough to work on, but I'm very happy with the results. So that's about it for refinery work. I guess now we'll go ahead and move forward and do the drawing. All right, so I've got my big bowl here of options. We're going to draw 4 out, and then I'm going to be out of town all weekend, so probably won't hear too much from me. But then on Monday, I'll do a poll result and work plan video for the winner of the poll, and we're going to go ahead and tie this to a YouTube post on my page. So we'll do a YouTube poll with results. That way you can't see the results until you vote. So we'll go ahead and keep doing that. And let's see what we can get for our first option here. Looks like we have the Portland cement plant in Canon City again. For number 1. Number 2 is the Everest steel plant. And if you're new to the channel, this is the only location on the whole layout where I still have track left to finish, and that is down here. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. For option number 3, we got Holcomb Power Plant again. And for the last loading option, it's going to be the Wichita Yard. So let's go over each one of these, starting with the Canon City Portland Cement Plant. That is over on the other side here. And that is this facility here. The last time this thing won, I more or less finished the buildings. I think I got all the details added, windows added, things of that nature. Still a lot of weathering to do, maybe add on details. But if this one wins, I think I'm going to go ahead and get the backdrop chosen, which from trainjunkies.com, I think I have one I've decided on, and it will cover this entire area here over to that mountain hillside there, and all the way down here to these portals. And those are all going to be integrated into the scene. You're not going to be able to see those from a front-on perspective. I'm going to build some hillsides that will hopefully cover those up for the most part. But if Portland Cement wins, we're going to get that backdrop chosen, probably bought or ordered anyway. And as you can see, I've got my overspray done for all the tracks. So a lot of track weathering and ballast will probably be the big priority for this. Because I like to get all my tracks ballasted before I worry about ground cover. So that's probably going to be the main focus if Portland Cement wins, is get that backdrop ordered and get to work on getting this track ballasted and weathered. And I think I also decided, based on my photos of the actual Portland Cement plant outside Canon City, all these yard tracks within the facility are concrete or concreted, whatever word you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and do that too for this area. I talked about doing that for the refinery. So we're going to do that for all these tracks here. Probably will leave the turnouts in ballast, just because I don't want to mess around with trying to concrete those. So probably this main feed track here will just be ballast, and then all the spurs we'll go ahead and do concrete. So that's the idea anyway. So we'll move on to the next option. So the next option is the Everest Steel Plant in Pueblo. That's down here. And I mentioned, if you're not familiar, there is still some track delay here. And that's, you can see this break in the track here. It's this final 3-track spur that goes into the steel plant proper. I haven't finished that track because I want to finish this structure first, and I've really just gotten it started. I think this structure's basically made up of one of the Walther's engine house kits and several of these overhead traveling cranes, which I've started one, but it's going to be one long traveling crane with 2 different gantries, I think, that'll be working gondolas at either end. So I wanted to get at least the main structure built first to make sure I get my track spacing done right, that it fits inside that building properly. So if the steel mill wins, we're going to definitely focus on getting this structure at least done to the point where I can get my track laid, so we can finally finish laying all the track for the layout. So this thing wins, we'll get that started, get that track laid. All right, third option was the Holcomb Power Plant. That is behind me. And already a lot of work done on this thing here. We've got all the track ballasted and weathered. We've got that coal pile in the background, which still needs some more work, but it's got a good start to it. I've gotten it integrated with this conveyor system here. So I think we're going to be ready to start figuring out some ground cover. All I have here, and this is the top of a helix. If you pan down here, we can see there's the helix hidden underneath. And so the transition point here, I just used gauze tape and some mud spackle, whatever, to kind of rough this in. You can see how roughly it's done. So I definitely need to come back over this and get some ground cover. I think the yard is going to be basically gravel, and this little hillside here that's left, we'll probably put some grass on that, and then gravel on up to the coal plant there. Definitely spread a lot more coal out. Obviously it's going to get moved around by rain and wind or whatnot, or just as the track, the front end loader moves around. So I think we'll work on that. We'll just try to get this yard. I also got a replacement kit for this power substation. I was educated by a person who's actually worked at a power plant and talked about how I only need about half of this kit for the origination station. So I got a new one. I didn't want to try to cut this one up. So I will probably also put some time in on getting one of these built, which is good because this one's kind of too big for the scene, I think. So cutting it down by half or a third or whatever it's going to be will help make it fit in the scene that much better. And then the main structure itself isn't complete. There's a lot of details left to add. So a lot of different things I can work on here for the power plant. And then finally, the Wichita yard. That's this here in front of you, which I always talk about broken down into two different rail companies, BNSF here on the right and Union Pacific there on the left. But the Wichita yard kind of encompasses the whole thing. And obviously I've gotten a start here on the track weathering, got some ballast done on this edge, so we can definitely continue working on that. And then this grain elevator needs some work. Neither company owns this. This is a third party that owns the grain elevator. In reality, this thing is not in use anymore, and half of it's been torn down. But on my layout, we're going to go ahead and use it. I think this side, the BNSF side, is going to be the one that actually unloads cars into it. But otherwise, I think I'm going to focus on getting rid of all the pink foam, get the overspray done on both sides so that looks a lot better, and continue some track weathering and ballast. And then I think I'm also going to try to get maybe these grain silos all trued up so they're perfectly level on the top. I still have to put a roof on the top. You can see there it's still just open. And I might do another stab at the actual elevator itself. Need to add more windows. This is my first effort at using sheet styrene to build anything, and I'm not totally happy with the results, but I did learn some things. So I might redo that as well. So a lot of things to work on here in the yard as well. We will just have to see what wins the poll. So as I mentioned before, as this video comes out, I'm also going to be creating a poll for those 4 options that we talked about. So once you've seen the video, click on over to my homepage on YouTube and go to the post tab, and you'll find the poll right there. So you can select which option you would like me to work on for the next couple of weeks. I guess that's about it for now. Thank everybody for watching and commenting, and also with the nice suggestions many of you have had since I've been working on this layout. That's it for now. Everybody have a great weekend.